don't ban Vox, I think that's a pick that I would want Avalanche to take simply just because they do underperform while still valuing the pick quite a bit. Taka is the consistent ban today from GankStars. It seems that maybe if it was targeted against Dark Potato, it's kind of rolled over here now into the third place match. So interesting to see that it's not specifically only a target ban for them, and we do see the Lance come through as first pick for Avalanche.
Yeah, I think Kentusik's also one of those guys that's been running the Storm Crown into CP build Taka, and it actually has been pretty scary. I think of all the versions, that's one of the most devastating we've seen.
Kentusik also runs Ozo, and we saw an Ozo do quite well against Avalanche earlier on. Maybe they'll feel it.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be real. Ozo's not in the meta. I know you guys keep talking about him, but he's just not, he's not one of these heroes that we'd expect to see coming out here in the draft. So
that's true. We know you're not the biggest fan of Ozo, but Action Jackson and I can't get enough of the monkey. We do see Lyra coming through. Yeah, let's go, Zo. Lyra's on the table for Cerberus, which definitely does deny a lot of potential opportunities for Engage. Samuel coming through, extremely strong pick. I do like this. Avalanche let it slide through. We did see Avalanche actually prioritize the Samuel pick earlier, saying that denying Lance away from Techno JJ is something more important to do for this game.
Yeah, definitely. You have huge area of effect, control, and damage coming out of GankStars right now. And it's going to be the Kestrel coming through. Now, one of the things I think Kestrel does is so well, she's elusive while providing high damage in later fights, but exactly what I had just mentioned, like the area effect damage and control definitely kind of hurt Kestrel.
I do agree with that, especially because of the amount of poke that can come out. However, Kestrel does scale extremely well, so depending on what they partner up, so we do see an Adagio. This is very meta-like of Avalanche. I'm almost thinking that perhaps I'm seeing
they
another
ran the
team
CP
play.
Kestrel earlier, though. It
could be the Roam Kestrel with the weapon power Adagio and the CP Lance.
Hey, CP Lance got buffed. Don't knock it till you try it.
This is quite true.
That's true.
Roam Kestrel does have lots of traps for stuns, and weapon power Adagio actually, joking aside, does have a argument to be made for how strong that can be. But the Kroll coming in,
that aspect of it.
That aspect can be pretty good, but with Kestrel on the board, if you don't win early, you're going to lose late.
All right, well, let's see if that rings true as GankStars goes up against Snow Avalanche in the third place matchup here. We're going to kick things off with our shoutcasters, Sona and Jingyi.
Thank you very much, AJ, Humanist, and Fuji. Already some damage onto Voldemar. That corrupted genius from Irakizo. Melting Voldemar's face-off in the Irakizo on this Samuel in lane. We have seen a few Samuel jungles as well. The Krull going into the jungle for Techno JJ. A little bit of a point of contestation between those analysts. How do you feel it works?
I don't like the last pick Krull into the... I just don't like it going into the Kestrel there. Just because... it just doesn't make sense to me as a last pick, because Krull doesn't do very well against Kestrels, I feel, because it's so easy for him to try and land those active camels. Camels? Sorry. Yeah, I did say camels.
Good old active camels.
I was actually thinking of the camel, the animals, yes. I was a little bit confused when I said that. I was like, that doesn't sound right. But, you know, it's really easy to try and land those active camels and then the stun there onto the Krull, and also paired together with that lance as well. I think that we could be seeing a Technology just struggling to try and get onto Waldemar. I guess we'll have to see, but it's not what I would have preferred to see.
Well, you never know. You have got the Arcane Passage for Nettoilette to try and get in there. You've got Bright Bulwark as well. Nettoilette's passive, heroic perk, that Principal Arcanum can bring Voldemar out of that active camo because you do damage. Bastion takes a lot of pain here. Rakizo needs to try and position for that Malice Verdict, but not quite going to be able to connect on towards that Lance just quite yet. Kentisik is playing it. I think it's going to be jungle Adagio, but you never know. He's picked in the jungle position, but this is Europe. Roam Adagio seems to be the meta at the moment, so.
I just don't like. I really hope it's a jungle Adagio and not Roam Adagio. I think it just works so much better. But Kentisik,
Kentisik gets jumped on. Impale comes out by Bastion, but he's going to fall as well. And 2 kills early for GankStars. Imperial Sigil to chase onto Voldemar, and it's an ace. Only 2.5 minutes into the game for GankStar Cerberus.
Oh wow, that was just unexpected. But Snow Avalanche, what was that? And they were all just standing in a perfect line there. So easy for Rakizor to get his Drifting Dark and the Malice and Verdict down onto all 3 of them. And well, You just see how fast one goes.
Tenno's bitten off a little bit more than he can chew here. He's going to try and turn the pressure onto Kentasik, and he might actually take him down. He gets the 1v2 fight, takes down Kentasik in response. Net2alett and Irakizo were just pushing up the lane all of that time. Techno really shouldn't have been there and shouldn't have won out the fight, but well done by him to actually pick up a kill out of it.
I mean, Bastion seemed a little bit tentative to use his Githian wall or any of his skills, actually, and I think a Githian wall just into the wall would have helped, maybe just given Kentasik just that little bit extra time to get away there, but, you know, we won't know. But yeah, you're right, he shouldn't have won that 1v2 this early on against an Adagio on the Lance.
Now, we saw Jetpacks last week play this Krull, and of course he's very well known for his Krull play. He went for the War Treads early on just to try and get on towards that backline. Do you think that's a good build in this game, or do you think we're going to see a more traditional Krull build?
I think the War Treads, Waldemar though. Yeah, I think the War Treads is a good, it depends, we see a lot of styles. I think the War Treads is good, but for this game I don't think I will see it being happen just because there's a lot of slow there. Maybe just trying to build just getting that Shiver Steel first, maybe, or even the Journey boost. I think that would work out better, but I think they're all pretty solid, you know, good. Sorry, they're all pretty solid items to pick up as a first build. If that makes sense. Struggling a little bit here.
I totally agree with you. I think the Shiver Steel can be a little bit stronger in the early game. I wonder was just if he needed to get onto that backline, whether he should be going towards that more run at them build that we do see out of Krulls sometimes. Kentasik able to get some of his own jungle actually in the lane. Irakizo able to 1v1 Voldemar already. So that's Samuel is popping off, as the fellow kids would say.
Just don't think he'll, he was being super aggressive. I was watching that fight there. He became super aggressive, used his boots to try and engage, get the glimmer shots off. But Irakizo, he's got that heal that comes out every 6 seconds and the energy regen as well. And it's not a good idea to probably be picking those fights, especially when you've got a hero that you're trying to fight against that has that potential to do that. But I think that's just how Waldemar plays. He can be very aggressive in the lane sometimes when trying to pick those 1v1s. Sometimes he wins, sometimes he doesn't. And maybe just in the future against the Samuel, just try not to go for those 1v1s.
It's what we were talking about earlier. Voldemar and Snow Avalanche as a team are incredibly emotional. They work off winning out these 1v1s, winning out these micro fights, and already we're going to see TennoJJ trying to jump on towards the backline, but Bulwark comes out, Bastion in the midst of 3 members of GankStars, and they'll take him down. The Krull really getting early kills here. Voldemar's going to take a huge amount of pain. TennoJJ still looking for it, not able to get on towards Voldemar, so we'll actually go for the flank here, and Voldemar backing in an awful position, gets caught out by the Krull, who is 4-1 already.
That was a beautiful From Hell's Heart, and I think this is one of the main tools that a Krull can have, is that From Hell's Heart. If he can throw up max range, and if it's not blocked, which a lot of people seem to struggle with, then it just absolutely takes them down. They're just stuck there for so long, allowing TennoJJ to die, but Net2alett
almost falls it, and will Bastion able to impale him through Irakizo. That's the power of a Lance, even in this lone position. Now TennoJJ is going to get on towards Bastion, but a good Githian wall knocks him away. Irakizo doesn't really have a huge amount of energy, and I think GankStars will want to retreat away from this fight. They need to get away from the Snow Avalanche members because they're still looking for the chase. Stormcrown completed, and Eve. Kentasic's going to step forward. There's the burst, not going to connect though. Impale also misses off towards the side, and the Snow Avalanche unable to capitalize on their slight advantage.
TennoJJ, he's super aggressive.
Oblivion onto Kentasik. They're going to be able to get onto him. There's the Voldemar as well will fall. And now Techno with the Imperial Sigil will get on towards that. Adagio can chase him out of the fight. He actually might be able to get up towards that top side. Bastion escapes down towards the bottom. They did use it from Hell's Heart as well. Kentasik's going to get smoked. Just a second, another Imperial Sigil, 1 smite. Will it be enough? Kentasik will fall, and TennoJJ will not survive. It's stuck between 2 turrets on the side of Snow Avalanche. They do manage to get the shutdown kill on towards the Krull.
Yes, they do, and I'm just noticing that TennoJJ, he managed to pick up Stormcrown there on the way to the shop, and I think, are we going to be seeing the Stormcrown Tensionable, Stormcrown Aftershock build onto a Krull? It's worked so well for many other junglers so far. I'm actually thinking it could be a really good pickup there for that Krull.
I understand it, but I don't think it works as well as perhaps on some other heroes. Like, on hit effects are great if you're... sort of the Tensionable Stormcrown build is great if you're jumping into a fight and then dodging out of the fight and re-engaging after a while. Krull doesn't do that. He just sticks on a target. So just having pure attack speed or having a Shiver Steel or a breaking point works a lot better for Krull, in my opinion, than having that I hit you, I back away a little bit, I hit you again build, which is what we see from Stormcrown Aftershock or Stormcrown Tension Bow.
I quite like it as that early pickup. It just makes his early game a little bit more of a threat, because I feel like that's upon Cruels, is that typically they kind of struggle in the early game, just dealing the damage, and it's relatively easy, well it should be easy to shut them down, and I think Snow Avalanche have been struggling to do that so far, but that Storm where, oh my gosh, Iraqi Zoro!
Iraqi Zoro goes solo, but Voldemort falls first. The Oblivion's going to come out and land onto Kentisik and just allows Techno JJ to get straight onto that Adagio. There is no escape, and I have to say, Fuji was wrong. This is working out so well for GankStars Cerberus. Cruel perhaps not the best pick, but team it up with a Samuel, team it up with Net Toilette, Arcane passaging in. It's so difficult for Snow Avalanche to get away from the fight.
It is so difficult. They need that Crucible, and this was something that I think I can't remember which game it was, but we're really getting quite frustrated by the lack of Crucibles. And when you've got
every game,
yeah, every game basically, Iraqi Zoro, you're gonna get rooted.
He is rooted up. Voldemort trying to take him down, but Net Toilette will be able to keep him alive and get him out. And here comes the Cruel once again. Techno JJ, still full health, full energy, took a gold mine while that fight was happening. GankStars Cerberus are 11 kills to 3 up, only 9 minutes into this game. Already have a 3,000 gold lead as well. GankStars are really on top form.
They really are, and especially when you've got Oblivion, when you've got that From Hell's Heart, the lack of reflex blocks coming out from Snow Avalanche is quite frankly disturbing right now, and I think it's something that they really need to be considering picking up, because that turret is going down.
That it is. First turret destroyed 9 minutes in. Impale gonna miss from Bastion, and JJ has set himself up. He's waiting for it. Doesn't have the From Hell's Heart. Bastion's gonna knock him back with the Githian wall. Are they gonna go for the re-engage? No. Disengaging with that ultimate. Impale comes down onto Net Toilette and onto Techno, though the Fountain used. Now Iraqi's always gonna try and re-engage with the Malice. There's the Malice. Where's the Verdict? It's gonna hit onto Voldemort, and Techno JJ will chase him down as well. The Verdict is guilty, and Voldemort will have to go back to Sanctuary for that. Oblivion comes down. All those minions are asleep. They're not gonna help out Kentisik as he tries to defend himself from Techno JJ and Iraqi Zoro. GankStars stuff. Oh, Kenta, you can't go in there.
No face.
You just can't do that. That's just silly.
I feel like today is just not Snow Avalanche's day. Just a slight feeling. It's just not going really well for them, to be honest. They're just not being very coordinated for the past 2 series. It's really beginning to show. In just looking at them and looking at the scores and even looking at some of the comps sometimes that they're playing, you can really tell they're just not showing up.
No, they're not. It is going to be a more traditional build here coming out from Techno JJ. So Stormcrown into Atlas Pauldron. I agree with you. I think Stormcrown early is really powerful. Gives you a big damage spike and allows you to clear a lot quicker. But Atlas Pauldron second makes a lot of sense into an Adagio and a Kestrel. Iraqi's always actually going to get caught out here. Net Toilette looking for the Arcane Passage across the wall. Didn't get it, and Bright Bulwark's in an awful position, but here comes Techno JJ on towards Kentisik. There is the burst, though. Crucible comes out, Fountain enough to heal him up for now. And will Voldemort be able to take down Techno JJ? The answer is no. Techno's going to be able to chase on towards that. Kestrel trying to get the stuns up, but Techno survives on a minuscule amount of HP. There's the Imperial Sigil as well. Bastion now on a hasty retreat away from all 3 members of GankStars Cerberus. Iraqi looking for the snipes, the Malice with the Verdict, but not quite going to be able to catch on towards that Lance.
No, Bastion is not going to be the ace now that Kentisik is out. But these fights, I just feel like Techno JJ has just been such a threat, and I feel like Snow Avalanche are really struggling to deal with him right now. But oh, Kentisik, do they know that Iraqi's there? They're going for it, or not? Or they just back away.
They're going for it, guys, or not. They might not be going for it at the moment, but however, GankStars Cerberus have been going for it this entire game. They're going to take the gold mine down as well. Bastion looking for the steal with the Impale, not going to get it. Goes across to Iraqi Zoro, who's so low on energy, but Techno still wants to fight. Going to see if he can get onto Bastion. Is bashed back into the wall by the Githian, but not going to be able to chase him down. And meanwhile, Voldemar's just like, guys, I've got some minions. I'm going to push up these turrets, get the first turret of the game for Snow Avalanche, and will continue just to force his way through this lane.
It's quite amusing that the whole time they just didn't realize that he was there. I don't know if he was going to get away or not. Will they see him or not? Doesn't get away.
I think he was spotted, but at that point, Techno JJ did not want to risk using his From Hell's Heart to try and catch him in case he got back before the From Hell's Heart connected. That's really one of their major engage tools along with the Oblivion, so you need to keep that for when you're actually looking for the fights.
I mean, the really good thing about the Stormcrown is not only does it help him like take those objectives like the Gold Mine, I think he soloed it twice, and it helps us clear, but also for the cooldown for that Hell's Heart, it does help a lot, and he does have that up a lot more often, but Net Toilette...
Oh, Voldemort, what are you doing? He steps straight into the midst of Net Toilette, and Techno JJ gets taken out. Snow Avalanche in 6s and 7s. And at the moment, they are miles behind GankStars, who pick up a double kill. They'll take the ace as well. Bastion should not be able to get away from Net Toilette and Techno JJ here. When Imperial Sigil comes out, Techno will be sped up, has that Spectral Smite stacking up, and a couple more stacks will be enough to take him down. Just about escapes. Bastion keeping himself alive, surprisingly there. Didn't really look like he should have got away.
Oh, he's not helping his teammates get alive, is he? I mean, look at them. They're 0 8s and 0 for Waldemar, and 1 7 and 2 for Kentisik. That's not a score that you should be happy about, to be honest. Right now, Rakizora went on 1v1 with Waldemar. That's...
Voldemort almost went out because Irakizora had minions in the way. Now Bastion will knock Irakizora back, but Iraqi has the Eve to heal himself up. There's the Oblivion. Here comes Techno looking to get the flank on towards Kentisik, and there's no escape for the Adagio. It's his final song. It's his swan song, and that is a burst of Judgment, and the Judgment is very poor for Snow Avalanche. They have not played well today at all, getting taken out originally by... not G2, Team Secret, and now by GankStars Cerberus in the first game of this best of 3.
Well, I mean, I think one thing, a major part of, they're just doing a lot of face checking right now, and I think a lot of that is just because they don't have vision. Bastion just recently picked up some flares, but before in the prior fight when Waldemar just face checked that bush, there were no flares. They're just pretending that like vision doesn't matter, but vision does so matter. You can still see Net Toilette, he's got the contraption, he's also got scout traps sitting there, and he's laying in so much vision throughout the whole map here. And Waldemar, you're so far up, I'm slightly worried he's going to be caught out, if not for the fact that he was teleporting.
Does get himself back, he's got Breaking Point Solar Blade now, so has started to hit those item spikes on towards the Kestrel, and surprisingly has actually gone for some kinetic shielding as well for himself, so a little bit of a defense in against this Samuel. However, third gold mine of the game goes to GankStars Cerberus. They are 8,000 gold ahead of Snow Avalanche now, and Journey Boots just finished up on Techno JJ as well, making it even easier for him to get on towards that backline. Voldemar's backing away here. We'll get spotted out by Net Toilette. Right, Bulwark comes down. Is he going to be able to escape from Hell's Heart?
No.
Not quite going to connect. Voldemar does manage to get himself away towards safety. Well, I say safety, straight into the path of the Malice and Verdict coming out from Irakizora.
Yeah, and I just feel like the Oblivion's going to hit.
It's only onto Bastion, though. Techno JJ trying to go for the dive. They'll turn their attentions across towards the turret. We'll have to back away for now. GankStars Cerberus not wanting to be too aggressive here. All it takes is a bad fight from them and they'll fall out of the lead in this game and allow Snow Avalanche that avenue back into the matchup.
Definitely. I mean, they're just so good at applying the pressure right now. That score of 19 and 3, or even 20 and 3 very soon. Looking at Waldemar.
Waldemar just about getting himself away, but will die to the drifting dark. It's truly a nightmare here for Snow Avalanche. They'll lose another member. Looking for the ace here. GankStars Cerberus decide not to dive the Sanctuary. Probably a good idea from them. They can turn their eyes back towards the Kraken, though. And with that Storm Crown on Techno JJ, they'll take it down incredibly quickly. Incredibly
quickly indeed. And just looking at the scoreboard right now, Waldemar 0, 10 and 0. This Kestrel pick's just not been working out. Part of the reason for that is just because of Techno JJ and because of Net Toilette. Net Toilette's throwing down some really nice bulwarks, just catching him out every single time. And I think looking at Waldemar's positioning as well, he's always a little bit too far ahead for that Kestrel, and it's so easy to try and catch him out. He's blocked one or two Hell's Hearts, but it's just not enough at this stage of the game.
Kraken is about to go down in favor of GankStars Cerberus. They are 21 kills to 3 up. That's 7 times their opponent's kills, and they have those infusions on them now as well. Double crystal, one sitting on the Lyra, one sitting on Irakizora, and then a weapon infusion for Techno JJ. So just trying to force all of that extra damage through. They'll take away the second minion mine as well. With the Kraken pushing in, you have to wonder if Snow Avalanche are actually going to be able to defend this.
And maybe they have a good chance with that Kestrel and the dash, but however the way the games are going, GankStars Cerberus are really beginning to catch them out with a lot of their skills. And Rakizora, he's been very aggressive with the way he uses Drifting Dark in his position, and look how far forward he is. It surprised me that Bastion isn't taking advantage of that with the impales, and this roam lands, it just isn't working out so well for them, just because he's not trying to land those impales constantly, not using his Githyan walls as much as I would like.
I feel like the roam lance hasn't been the major issue here. The major issues being Kentisik being 1 and 9 and Voldemar being 0, 10. They'll take the second turret, the Kraken pushing in. Techno JJ can just turn his attentions over to that crystal. A great triple stun there, and they're going to get the Voldemar down as well. Kentisik, the last man available for Snow Avalanche, but he will fall as well. It's an ace for GankStars Cerberus. They'll take it 24 kills to 3. over Snow Avalanche, and they'll go 1-0 up in this best of 3.
What can I say about this game? I mean, from the moment at 2 minutes when GankStars Cerberus got that ace that early on, and with that Cruel as well, you're kind of wondering, well, it's not looking so good for Snow Avalanche already, and I just feel like they're constantly being shut down 1v1. All members of Snow Avalanche are just kind of wandering around doing their own thing. They're not really working together as a team, and just GankStars were capitalizing that, picking up those kills here and there. Just pushing
So we're going to be hopping straight into this one. Let's quickly break down the draft. Lance, Sky, Arden against Samuel, Glaive, and Lyra. Thoughts real fast before we hop in?
I definitely think Lyra being on your team is helpful. Glaive doesn't have as many opportunities where he can't get his afterburn into the Sky. That being said, with Lance and Arden there, Sky has quite a bit of protection. It's going to be more on that Samuel to deliver.
It's a very even draft in my mind, but the way these teams have both been playing, I got GankStars favored.
All right, let's pass it off to our shoutcasters, as we might have some action developing here. Sona and Jingy, take it away.
Thank you very much, AJ, Humanist, and Fuji. Already we see Kensik taking a bit of pain here from NetToilet and Techno JJ. Will get chased away. Bastion with that Lyra being able to do quite a bit of work. But how do you feel about this draft? No active camels in the game for you this time, Junior.
That was such a confusing moment for me when I said camels. Or never mind. There's no caster in this game. How do I feel about this draft? I feel that the Glaive is actually a good pickup, and it has been a bit surprising to see him not being used as much despite having no changes to him in the 122 updates. And it'll be really powerful against the Sky, making sure that he uses it after using the Series Strikes, which there is actually no escape mechanism there for her. Hopefully this game will go a lot better for Snow Avalanche than it did in the past 3 games for them, because today just has not been their day so far. But there we go with the gank.
Yeah, NetToilet might be the first to fall in the game. Will it be first blood to Snow Avalanche? It will. They take him down. Just over-aggressed into Bastion. Didn't realize that Kensik was waiting around the corner to take him down.
Well, that's about the number of kills they got the last game, so it's already a good start there for them. But you know, I think having that Lyra there really does help them a lot. You know, having that heal there, allowing Waldemar to get that harass down. Well, we're gonna have to see if Arden's gonna be showing up. Just because I feel Arden, he's also not being used as much. But that gauntlet, if you can manage to get that gauntlet there onto Waldemar, and they can burst him down really quickly, it's a very, very effective tool there, and particularly with that lance as well.
Bastion just dodges out the Impale there. Techno JJ not able to connect. If he had, that would be a very dead Lyra. Didn't have the Imperial Sigil up to keep herself alive. Voldemar stepped forward here. NetToilet is actually behind him. Flare will come out, and Voldemar realizes don't really want to be in that sort of position when there's an Arden around the corner. Techno now looking for the Impale. It's going to connect on towards the Samuel. Dodges it out. NetToilet trying to force him down, but not going to be able to take Voldemar out of action just quite yet.
I mean, that Impale had landed, that Waldemar would have just died at that point for sure. It's a good dodge there coming out from him, and you can just see how much damage NetToilet is doing with the blood for blood. You know, when he was just 1v1 Waldemar, he was doing a lot of damage there onto Waldemar, forcing him to go back at this point. And NetToilet looking a little bit too low, but I think this is one of the games we're gonna be seeing both of the roamers just sitting in the lane a lot, just to make sure, just to keep their laners safe. NetToilet, I just feel like NetToilet there, maybe he could just go down to the jungle, help Lance a little bit more.
I don't know, Techno JJ's alright at the moment, sitting on 18 CS. Kensik's only got 17. Bastion will take a shield to the face, try and dodge around with that Imperial Sigil. NetToilet's going to come down with the Vanguard. Can they get on towards Bastion? Voldemar is there and will be able to take NetToilet incredibly low. Misses the Malice and Verdict, but Kensik will join the fray. And now Techno needs to run his way away. Get away from Voldemar, get away from Kensik. Get himself back towards safety. Voldemar has that Corrupted Genius, has Malice and Verdict up. Techno trying to dodge around. Does just manage to dodge them, but Voldemar will have the Corrupted Genius up once again and smites away Techno JJ.
And the rotation coming down from GankStars is a little bit slow. If Iraqi had come down a little bit earlier, I think they could have easily picked up 1 or 2 kills there onto Snow Avalanche. And if they didn't, I think you need to really be on top of the rotations. Avalanche looking a lot better already, 3-0. Playing a lot more coordinated. Some nice rotations coming out for them. They're really it's making good use of that Glaive, and they're having some really nice afterburns, some really aggressive ones to pick up those kills. Working a lot better for them already.
Oh, it definitely is. This is the sort of Snow Avalanche that we expect to see when they come to the not the bit of a shambles that we saw earlier on this weekend. Now GankStars need to pick themselves up by their bootstraps and work out how to get back into this game, because Techno will fall off. He's going that tension bow build as well, which means he's not going to have that late damage that you would have from the Solar Blade. NetToilet doesn't even have a full fountain yet, so quite far behind in this game.
Yeah, a little bit far. I think for this game, a Sorrow Blade would have been really, really good, especially because I think both Glaive and Samuel do quite well into the late game, so you kind of want to be still be able to deal out the damage even in the late game. So Sorrow Blade, I think, would have been done a lot of good there. But as you said before, Tension Bow just seems to be the preferred Samuel EU build rather than the Sorrow Blade that we see in the NA teams a lot.
It's an interesting one as well because it's Tension Bow works well in the early game and is really good if you're going for that early aggression, which is what we see in North America. In Europe, we tend to see these later protracted games where it's all about winning out, you know, at 15, 20 minutes. So I'm surprised that we're not seeing a later game build out of Lances in Europe where the meta is shifted towards that late focus.
Yeah, and I also feel like the Tension Bow, it's got about 2 or 3 minutes of just really nice power spike, and then after that it just doesn't do as much, especially once the other team starts picking up a little more defense, getting a little more of that health. And it is interesting that you're saying that the NA, they're a little bit more aggressive, so Tension Bow might suit them a little bit better, but they're going for the Sorrow Blade, and EU, they're the opposite. Oh my god,
Bastion takes an impale to the face, though Githyan Wall will take him down. Kentisik trying to look for a flank here. Voldemar does still have a huge amount of damage, you know, triple Crystal Bit, heavy Prism as well, with the energy battery, Void battery, so to keep himself up and sustained on energy. Gone for those level 2 boots as well, just to try and keep himself dodging around the fight. Bakizoro not able to connect with those 4 barrages as much as he would like.
Yeah, well, I think so. It is good. He's not got as much defense. Sorry, not defense. Crystal items as he has sometimes, but he's going for that reflex block already, which is so good, especially when you've got a Glaive on the enemy team. But look at the damage coming from Waldemar there.
Exactly what Samuel does in lane. He just forces you back time and time again. He's got splash damage when he's in that drifting dark. Makes it almost impossible to deal with him effectively. And we're already seeing GankStars Cerberus starting to struggle with it.
They really are, and especially Bastion there. And Waldemar, he's got that health regen using his Cups of Genius every 6 seconds. And Bastion's actually using his Bulwark very well to stop Techno from using those impels as much as he would like. But there is the afterburn.
Techno gets knocked back into the turret. Net2alette almost falling, just about surviving off towards the side. Has used the fountain already. Kentisik looking for the flank. They're going to see what they can do here. I think they will just back away and let Techno just try and keep this turret alive. The rest of GankStars have gone back to Sanctuary. Snow Avalanche looking for a dive here. Kentisik is positioning aggressively. Techno JJ is off towards the side. They will try and take the turret down. All Techno needs to do is land the Impale, but Afterburn comes out. Snow Avalanche able just to put the damage onto the turret.
I feel like if Techno JJ had used his Githyan Wall a little bit earlier in the wall, he could have maybe prevented as much damage going into the turret, just push the minions out of the way, or even push Kentisik or even Bastion out. It could have helped a little bit, but at least that turret is still standing. But as it goes, GankStars, they're beginning to struggle against Samuel a little bit, and I think you kind of want to get them, you want to see Rakizar picking up a little bit more damage out, and he's going for that Frostburn first, instead of a Shard Glass or even that Broken Myth, which I know the analysts aren't the biggest fan of.
I can hear Fuji weeping from here. I don't know the actual statistics on the percentage win rate, but I'm pretty sure it had a 0% win rate in week 1. Don't know how it's doing in week 2 thus far. We are going to see an engage. There's the Gauntlet. Will stun up Voldemar. Impale comes down onto him as well. He tries to use the Oblivion to keep himself alive and will do exactly that. Gets himself out of the fight. GankStars Cerberus not able to capitalize on a well-placed Gauntlet.
That was a very nice Gauntlet. If he hadn't used Oblivion and if they blocked it, if Techno JJ had blocked it, they could have easily picked up the kill there. And right now, Rakizar, Netsplat, and Techno JJ, they're all looking quite low. And this is a good time for Snow Avalanche to turn the fight around if they're going to chase this properly, especially with Kentisik there running in.
They have got the ability to get back to the turret. Net2alette tried to get away with the Vanguard there, but it was Afterburn back. He uses the reflex spot. Kentisik should be able to take him down.
Nice save! Oh no!
Oh, it was a nice save, and then they both stood in the Imperial Sigil and got taken out by Voldemar and by Bastion. So Snow Avalanche starting to come back to their roots here, winning out the first fights, taking the turret. They're 5-1 up over GankStars Cerberus.
Yeah, and it's definitely looking a lot better. They've got the turret. They are 1.6k ahead in gold, and that gold mine is looking pretty full right now. So I think what we're going to be wanting GankStars Cerberus to be doing is that I think they're not respecting the damage coming from Waldemar and Kentisik. They're really beginning to suffer at the hands of Snow Avalanche. And if you do look at Waldemar and Kentisik, neither of them has any defense. I think if we can get a Techno JJ just to land that impale on either one of those, it should be very easy for GankStars Cerberus to follow up. And right now I think what we're seeing is this is kind of Rakizar, Net2alette against the rest of the world. And Techno JJ doesn't seem to be with them as much as I would like to.
Exactly, this is the problem with Lance. You need to be putting early aggression on. You need to be doing a lot of work in the early game, and he really hasn't done that. You know, he'll take Bastion down a little bit, but has to back away once again as Snow Avalanche are able to rotate round. And with the Eve first on Voldemort, it makes it almost impossible to kill this Samuel unless you get him totally locked out of a fight.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason why is Bastion's been doing a really good job just throwing those bulwarks down every time Techno JJ gets even close. And maybe they can try and force that bulwark out and then re-engage. Right now we're not seeing that re-engagement, which I think will be very, very good. If they just manage to get that impale down onto Waldemar, it'll just be so easy to focus him down, chain up with a death from above. We're not seeing any of that right now. It just feels like that Techno JJ sees the bulwark and goes, okay, I'm just gonna go farm now. And they just back away.
They are going to farm up that gold mine as well. Kentisik has started that one. Has Solar Blade first on this Glaive. It's what we expect to see on him. It looks like he's building up towards Tyrant's Monocle or possibly a Tornado Trigger next as well, but we'll have to wait and see what he does decide to go for. No Avalanche. They've actually decided to show up for a game of Vainglory this weekend. They have the advantage. They're a very emotional team. We talked about this earlier on. Getting the early advantage can really snowball them into the later game. Do they have the team composition to win out later on?
I think they definitely do, and a lot of it just does depend on whether GankStars Cerberus, if they start kind of like working together as a team for this game. They were doing it so well last game. Right now we're just not seeing it, and right now they're just kind of at the mercy of Kentisik and his afterburns. Because even if Arakizora gets away, all he has to do is just use his afterburn, and then we can see a bulwark or even an arcing passage right on top of him. And there's very little escape. We're not seeing the aggressive engages coming from GankStars, which we really need to see. And the more later we get on, the less effective that tension bow is going to be for Lance.
I've got a good position for a gauntlet here if they can get in. Right, Bulwark was just used, but it looks like GankStars don't want the fight. They don't quite know where Kentisik is. They've got good vision around their backs, but nowhere near the fronts or the gold mine. So Snow Avalanche doing a good job of denying vision away from GankStars and stopping them being able to get the engages on their terms.
Yeah, and well, with Nettolet having that gauntlet available, this is actually a really good chance for them to fight. Even if he can get the gauntlet down on Waldemar, even if he doesn't get them in, you do have Techno JJ who's available to use his Githy and Wall to knock them back into it. Right now I feel like they're just taking a lot of free damage from Waldemar, just allowing themselves to be poked. And I feel like they just turned this around, made themselves to be a little bit more aggressive. This could be a completely different fight.
Irakizo was sitting on 1,500 gold. He's gone back, he's picked up his Broken Myth, so they're gonna wait for him to get back into this fight. Nettolet went back to get himself some more flares. So now sitting on that fountain and the gauntlet can look for a fight around perhaps this gold mine in a couple of minutes. It's not really stacked up to the point you'd want it yet. All of Snow Avalanche are going to spot out Techno JJ here. He's going to get jumped on by Voldemort. Kentisik Dog messes up the afterburn, but with the arcane passage in from the side, they should be able to take down this lance.
Nice
Vanguard comes in. Net is going to hold onto his fountain for the whole time as well. They didn't even manage to take down Techno JJ. Fountain was used right at the end there by Net to keep alive, and I'm going to see Irakizo just try and back away from Snow Avalanche here. They'll know he's around those backs,
no.
and Kentisik and Bastion are on their way there.
Don't know if this is a good idea. There's the afterburn.
Yeah, Irakizo has no way out of this one. Tries to Sui strike across, but Bright Bulwark will slow him up. Death from above, all in one place that needed to be in a line to try and stop them getting anything out of it. And meanwhile, Voldemort can just push up by himself, but Techno JJ has something else to say about that. Gets the first auto attack down, the tension bow is doing work, but the Eve heal with the Drifting Dark is absolutely huge, and Voldemort does not care about Nettolet and Techno JJ.
I just don't know what GankStars are doing right now. So I get why Sky was just trying to get the lane and go to the backs, but when you haven't had control of the jungle for that long, when you don't have flares available to know where the scout traps are, I think it's just a bit of a foolish venture that he did. You know, he lost his life. I think he got 2 camps there, and right now it's 6-1. And to be honest, I'm really wondering what Nettolet is holding that gauntlet for, because he's had it there for a while. He's not used it. I feel like GankStars just kind of, I don't know, just put a little bit more aggression and actually went for an engagement here. They have a really good chance of winning. I don't really know what's holding them back right now, because I feel like there should be nothing there.
Perhaps it's a little bit of apprehension about how poorly they played in some previous games. They don't quite want to take fights that they're not quite sure about, and it looks like GankStars Cerberus are looking for a bit of a fray here. Voldemort does get a huge amount of damage down onto Irakizo from the side. GankStars Cerberus once again just backing behind their turret, trying to keep themselves alive, trying to extract any type of win they can out of this situation, but at the moment the wins are few and far between before them.
Yeah, I'm also kind of querying that Frostburn first from guy, just because I feel like with the Shower Glass, you get that more burst. You don't really want to give Bastion the opportunity to heal the rest of the team back up. But now that the Bulwark's been used, this could be a good chance for them, but again, we're still seeing this very tentative approach coming from GankStars.
Need to use the gauntlet. Like, they've got Reflex Spot, they've got Crucible. You're never gonna get your perfect stun off unless... Ooh, actually...
Was that fountain meant to be used?
Did they see the fountain used there by some Avalanche? If they have,
so.
They need to go for the fight now. It's a perfect opportunity. Fountain accidentally used by Bastion. There's 40 seconds for them to do something about it, but siding against it once again, and GankStars just so tentative in this matchup.
I just feel like there's been so many good opportunities for them in the past 15 minutes, but they're kind of just like, yeah, no, it still doesn't feel right. I want the perfect moment for this, but let's be honest, there's not going to be that perfect moment. You need to just fight at this point, because that you wasted that fountain was perfect for them. You saw Netwell kind of running in and being like, maybe not, and running away again. And this is not how you want them to be playing right now. Definitely not by allowing Snow Avalanche to poke away there, allowing Voldemort just to kind of deal the damage. You're not doing your team any favors right now.
Netwell will get spotted out once again, perhaps waiting for the spike on Irakizar to see if he can get towards... He's already got 3 completed crystal power items. I don't really know what they're waiting for. They're all going to have to expect them to be infused here. Now, with those infusions, they might be looking for the fray.
They might be. They might be looking for the 3. That's a good time. And if they're not going to use this next 3 minutes as an opportunity to fight with those infusions, then I've got to say GankStars are just not a good idea, not a good play right now. But they're going to be starting the Kraken. Let's see what GankStars are going to do to try and prevent this.
All 3 members of Snow Avalanche are so close together. Here come the War Treads. They're trying to get onto Irakizar. Kentasik will stun him up with the Afterburn, but he manages to get away. And now GankStar Cerberus can try and win the fight. Oblivion used by Voldemort. He gets caught in the gauntlet. Bastion should get taken down as well, and now Techno JJ and Net the root lands, and this should be a dead Voldemort. If they can chase onto him, it's all up to him to try and finish out 1v3. He takes down 1. Iraki's the next target, but he will manage to pick up the kill. It's an ace for GankStar Cerberus, finally turning the game around. They'll get the Kraken as well, and they can start to take some of these turrets down.
I mean, that was a close one there at the end when Voldemort had managed to take down Net Toilette, and Irakizar was missing his forward barrage. And gotta say, when you bought a Frostbreaker, it doesn't really matter how much slow the Frostburn is going to apply if you're not going to be landing that forward barrage there. Things look very, very close there for a minute. Because Voldemort, I think, if Irakizar had just continued to not keep hitting those forward barrages, he could have easily taken down 2 of them. But this is the first time that GankStars have been looking strong this game so far, and I really want to see them pushing the advantage, but 2 members against 3, it's going to be a bit iffy.
That should get him relatively quickly. He does have that Vanguard in a couple of seconds to be able to get towards this. The Kraken pushing in again, already down to about a half HP really, so Snow Avalanche doing a really good job of pressuring that, trying to take it down quickly. Voldemort will melt through it, of course. Now we're going to see GankStars looking for the fight. There's the right Bulwark. Impale misses. Iraqi positioning down towards the bottom side, but the Kraken's going to fall, and GankStars did not get enough off that Kraken push.
Passion!
Bastion? Oh wow, he actually jumps all the way in with the Arcane Passage. Root comes down onto him as well. He doesn't get Githian walled, and Techno now has to retreat. Voldemort doing so much work with the Malice and Verdict. Takes a forward barrage to the face as well from Iraqi's eye. Now they need to get Techno JJ healed up once again. Iraqi actually took that Treant away. Techno needs some healing before they can look to re-engage the spike. Gauntlet's about to come back off cooldown. Techno will get the second Treant, but Voldemort positioning up towards the top side might look for the re-engage.
Yeah, that was definitely very bad, but we're going to be seeing infusions coming out, so maybe this is a good time to retaliate, but looking at the health, I think not.
Yeah, Net's going to get jumped on here by Kentasik. Techno needs to get away from the fray as well. Bastion's going to jump in once again with the Bright Bulwark. Kentasik not on the same page, had gone up towards the top side, up towards the lane. There's a good Gauntlet as well. It's a disengage. Kentasik's going to jump in. Irakizora says not willing to fight this one for now. They will back away. Net so low on HP. Doesn't have much to heal himself back up. There's the Oblivion. Iraqi dodges it out. Iraqi looking for the 1v3. Gonna see if he can take down Bastion. Voldemort is back into the fight. Has 2 stacks on that Broken Myth. Down to 1 now. Kentasik has to use the Afterburn to get away. The Impale comes out from Techno. And GankStars are still looking for the fights. No, Avalanche don't really want it themselves because Voldemort has so little energy. GankStars eventually saying, okay, we'll back away. But Bastion says, oh no, you don't. We're chasing you with the Arcane Passage. Iraqi does get back to base, and GankStars will be able to get themselves off towards safety.
That was an odd fight there coming out from both of the teams. I mean, we saw... did you see the moment when Netflix threw his gauntlet in, a very defensive gauntlet, just to keep them back, and then ran around in circles inside it, just kind of putting himself in range with very, very little health? I don't know if you saw that.
That's what you got to do. You got to keep that gauntlet up, you know?
running in circles isn't going to help anything at that
Practicing his
point.
dance moves, maybe.
But it felt very. I felt like both
It felt like a very odd fight all round, in all honesty. It didn't even
Yeah,
really feel like a
that's
fight a lot of the time. They were just sparring with each other, and Kensik is looking to spar with Irakizoro. Desmond Bubble come down, Kensik walks straight into it, will get stunned up. Is he gonna fall? Yes, he is the answer, and Impale onto Voldemort as well. Iraki's too far away, Oblivion comes down, but Voldemort will get Githyan Ward back, and now Voldemort needs to try and dodge. He has to put on his own dancing shoes, but he hasn't got the slight beat to get himself away. 2 left feet there on Voldemort. Bastion trying to escape with the arcane passage will get taken down as well, and GankStars Cerberus are gonna pick up a triple kill. They'll pick up the ace, and they equalize it at 7-7. They'll take the Kraken down to be able to push in towards the base of Snow Avalanche.
Yeah, they might actually be able to get a gold advantage from that because Kensik, he's still out for 15 seconds, and in that fight, they were able to separate all 3 members of Snow Avalanche out and just effectively take them down that way. Because Kensik, he went in for the very aggressive afterwards, doing a lot of damage to Irakizoro. However, at that point, he was a little bit too far forward. I think out of the range for the Imperial Sigil. And they were just, they put them to death from above. They were able to stun him and just take him down very quickly. And then they were able to turn onto Bastion and Waldemar in succession. And that's kind of what they want to be doing in those fights, is just peeling them apart, keeping them separated. Because that comp coming out from Snow Avalanche doesn't do well on its own. You need to have all 3 members there for those successful team fights.
Snow Avalanche are playing into GankStars' favor as well. We see how many times Bastion's jumping back into the fight, Kensik trying to get the afterburns in from behind. Voldemort always seems just left alone to try and do long-range damage, which Samuel excels at, but you need to be so cautious when you're playing into someone like a Skye because of how easily she can dodge around the fight. Once again, GankStars Cerberus are going to push in with this Kraken.
Yeah, I feel like Bastion, he's just been very, very aggressive with his arcane passages. You see him going straight in there, and the rest of his team takes a few seconds before they register that he's trying to be aggressive, and then they follow up. And, well, actually, this is completely different from the start of the game. I mean, Snow Avalanche looked so good at the start.
Good Gauntlet gonna come down. Kensik will get caught out already. Netwillet quite low. Techno JJ with the Kraken trying to take down the second turret. Voldemar's still alive. The Kraken will fall before the turret does, but it will get taken out by Irakizoro. Now GankStars are looking for the crystal. Bastion's trying to get on towards Irakizoro. Netwillet is low. Voldemar as well off towards the backside. Irakizoro is still alive. Gets afterburned in and will fall. And now GankStars need to beat a hasty retreat away. Techno gonna try and distract the members of Snow Avalanche here, just to keep them away from Netwillet, who needs to stay alive, not give that ace buff over to Snow Avalanche.
Oh, I don't know if they're going to get the ace. Netwillet, where's the Vanguard? There it is.
Just enough to speed him up. Kensik didn't have anything to chase that one down, so Snow Avalanche will not get the ace, but they will get 2 kills and defend their base for now.
That was a very nice aggressive push coming out from GankStars, and it was lovely to see that they're being a lot more aggressive compared to the first 15 minutes of the game. Because I think aggression was one thing that was seriously lacking from their game style for this particular game. But they've managed to turn it around, and Irakizoro during that last fight had some really nice Suri strikes, and we can see Kensik desperately trying to just get onto Irakizoro to deal the damage, because Irakizoro does not have any armor, so therefore Kensik should be doing a lot to him, and whenever he does get onto Irakizoro, he's just completely just taking out half his health every single hit.
Exactly what he needs to do. The question is, can he do it enough to keep Snow Avalanche in this game? If they lose, of course, they lose this best of 3. They get 4th spot, one of their lowest finishes in the Evil 8 in a long time. GankStars are looking to get that 3rd position. We're 2nd last week, 3rd this week as well. We'll put them in high standing amongst those points. Bastion going to get some pain down onto Techno JJ, just forcing that lance back a little bit. Has got the Soul Blade, has an Aegis for himself as well, and the Coat of Plates enough to survive through that last team fight. Now Netwillet has Gauntlet up again. They're going to look for an engage. Techno jumps onto Voldemar. Netwillet will jump in. The right bulwark comes down, and now GankStars need to go in. Just Gauntlet now if your GankStars there. It is. Voldemar's going to get caught. All 3 members. Githyan Ward back. Death from Above's going to land on towards the Samuel. Voldemar uses the Oblivion to keep himself alive. Another Githyan Ward knocks him back, but GankStars unable to get any members of Snow Avalanche down, and Voldemar healing himself up with the Eve, with the Imperial Sigil as well. Irakizoro will get stunned into the wall, and he's dead. GankStars Cerberus, only 2 members left alive to try and defend against Snow Avalanche now.
That was such a nice gauntlet coming from Netwillet. We saw the gauntlet come down, exactly what both of us are calling for. We're both saying, gauntlet, 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 now. He did that. However, I feel like the Irakizoro wasn't following it because he was way on the other side of gauntlet, outside of it. And he wasn't dealing any damage to anyone. And they had all 3 members of Snow Avalanche in a perfect position there for Irakizoro, but we just didn't see any follow-up. And had he been in the gauntlet, had he thrown down his Death from Above onto all 3 members, that was GankStars' fight to win. But they didn't, and you need to have all 3 members coordinated about what's going to happen next, because by the time Iraqi's did come in a little bit closer, was ready to engage, at that point Nextwell and Techno JJ had to back away because he'd taken so much damage. Just a bad turnaround there.
Now Avalanche able to get themselves back into this game. Interesting play actually here by Nettoilette. He's going for the back door, but got spotted out by a scout trap. Techno JJ still looking for it as well. He can of course roll across a little bit of that wall, but there are scout traps around, and Techno will back away once again. They've caught out Nettoilette here. He should be sacrificed for the good of the team. With the Kraken pushing in, he will get blocked away for that afterburn, but Snow Avalanche able to pick up their 11th kill of the game, and it is 7-11 in favor of them at the moment. Iraqi's trying to take away the Kraken, and actually Techno JJ has been spotted out as well here by Snow Avalanche. This is desperate play by GankStars Cerberus. It was foolish in all honesty, and they will both get taken out. 58 seconds on Techno JJ with the Kraken pushing in. Iraqi Zoro has a mountain to climb to win out this game.
Yeah, he definitely does, but he's got a lot of energy regen items there, so that'll keep him going. But I gotta say, that was a very risky maneuver that Techno JJ and Nettoilette did. I mean, they do both have that Storm Guard, but it was very foolish, especially once Nettoilette died. I don't know why Techno JJ just didn't teleport back just to help Iraqi Zoro clear, take down the Kraken. But as it stands, that was a terrible mistake that both of them made.
Yeah, it's going to be the crystal going down for Snow Avalanche. No availability for GankStars Cerberus to be able to stop it. And we are going to a game 3 for the first time today. GankStars Cerberus just made some foolish mistakes as we got towards the end of that game. Snow Avalanche able to close it out and win out the second game for themselves. We hand it back across towards our analysts, AJ, Humanist, and Fuji, to break down that game and to lead us into, I think because of the time, we might be going straight to the finals, but we could also be going to the game 3 here between GankStars Cerberus and Snow Avalanche.
Swap heroes. Halcyon Fold has begun. Gold payout collected.